Hey guys, it's your boy, Funkmaster Bex here, coming at you live with some kind of sad news. You see, one of our oldest members, Randy, Random Dude Man 12, the guy that nobody fucking knows, has unfortunately passed away recently. The cause of death was skipping leg day too much. Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess there's a first for everything. So yeah, this means he won't be on future episodes, which is pretty sad. I really liked recording with him, the times I did record. We don't know if we're gonna replace him just yet, but at the moment he was a pretty big part of the team. So yeah, rest in peace, Randy. As always, this episode may contain spoilers as well as coarse language, so viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Our Anime Podcast, the unofficial Our Anime Podcast. I don't know who's actually deciding this, but that's what we are. That's where we're from, the best place on the internet. And it's time for the usual seasonal first impressions, the summer 2017 season of anime. A bunch of new stuff to talk about, talk shit about, and it'll be a good old time like it always has been. I'm Mozilla Fennekin. Of course, that's not what my Google name says. Just ignore that. And also we have Kaverick.
Hello.
And also we have Shocking807.
Hey all, how you doing?
Doing good. Glad we could all be here today. Very chill podcast for a chill season, I guess.
Yeah. It's a good way of putting
it. We only have 3 people because that's just how freaking disorganized we are. It's a mess.
Chill we are.
It's a mess, just like my life.
That sounds like a new Trapped in a New World title.
Yeah, so that's my light novel.
It's a mess just like my life with a smartphone.
This is the spoiler. That's the best anime this season. The podcast. So yeah, we're just going to talk about these shows one by one. We're mostly going to go by popularity as of this recording, which is on July 22nd. Everything is out, including the reflection, and we're not going to talk about the second course of stuff. So Boku no Hero, Recreators, and the like. They're probably as good as they've always been. So that's fine. And yeah, we're just going to get through this. So the first show we have is Kakegurui, the compulsive gambler.
Yep. It's a pretty fun show, actually. I like it. It's kind of ridiculous. It's over the top as fuck. It kind of reminds of Kaiji in many aspects, as well as the premise of gambling and its crazy nature. It's fun to watch. And that's all I can say so far. Faces are ridiculous. The voices are insane. But it's captivating, I'd say. What do you think?
Yeah, I keep describing it as like the gambling Shokugeki with a girl as the MC. And yeah, I'm having a really good time with it. I think it's cool. It's like a really cool setting, like this like high school that everything is staked upon gambling and like how well you can kind of like cheat everyone and like make it work. And I mean, I think episode 4 has come out, but I haven't gotten to see it. I think episode 4 just recently came out. But as of now, it's gotten some cool different twists with it. It's cool because the main character is this girl, and she's kind of like, she's not OP, like she doesn't win, like she's not going to win everything, but she does a good job of like scaring you no matter what. So you really are like on the edge of your seat. Like you don't know if she's just going to dominate or she might lose and become like a slave or something. But she's pretty cool to watch, and she makes everything really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the gambling, the games they play, I don't think that's great about this show, but Yumiko is definitely worth watching. Like, I just love how the episode will eventually climax to the point where she will just get in someone's face and fucking scream at them hysterically and make them cry.
Yeah, like even...
I've seen 3 episodes of this, and she has literally broken a person.
Just one. I thought she broke like everyone. She broke like
I mean,
3 people,
well, mostly
right?
it's mostly the chick she battled in the first episode, because after that, like the consequences of losing to this random no-name bitch is just so great that she's trying to get all of her reputation back, because this is a very, very over-the-top school setting, and I like that as well. Like, I definitely agree it's very much like Shokugeki in that aspect. And
unlike Shokugeki, I think it's cool because something like gambling can be very, like, over the top and extreme. Like, you have all these extreme odds against you, like, you're playing these ridiculous games, like, huge stakes, and that's not like a knock on Shokugeki, because they somehow made cooking interesting. I don't know how they did that, but this one is cool because I think foodgasms. We haven't had any gambling gasms, but we've gotten pretty close. But she does it, they do a good job of, like, I think they really sell it too, because her name's Yamiko, right? Yumiko. She's also my best girl of the season. I think she's, like, carrying it, but she's also, like, she genuinely likes gambling. Like, that also carries it well, because she's having a good time. She wants something to be, like, super high stakes and intense. And I think that makes it enjoyable, too. Because, she's not just, like, fronting and nervous. Like, she's having a good time. And that makes
she doesn't simply like gambling. It's the reason for life to her. Yeah. I also want to praise Mappa because the show looks gorgeous and the faces are extreme. And once again, Yamamoto made an outstanding opening.
Oh my god, best OP of the season.
So I think I'm like kind of torn on this opening because I think I don't actually like the song. I like the style of the song, and I think the visuals are cool in like a pseudo symbolic way, and it's definitely one of the best ones. But I have some beef with the song. I think it sounds kind of shitty. I like the style, but I just kind of wish it was better.
I agree that it's kind of shittily produced. Like, it's mostly just the vocals that you hear and not the actual band that's playing, which is really weird because they have this awesome big band style of song.
Yeah, it's such a cool style to it. And then the ending is kind of then the ending song is really cool, but then it's kind of just sort of walking and having fun, which it's it works well for what it is. Yeah, just having a good time, but I mean, they're both pretty good though. All things considered.
I'm not sure about that ED, but yeah, the show it's fun to watch. It looks good.
Yeah, my only concern is it might get kind of repetitive if it's gonna stay to the formula of one game per episode, and we won't go that far within one season, and it will kind of end on a cliffhanger. That's what I'm afraid of. We'll see. We'll see about it.
Yeah, we'll have to see where it goes. Can go either way, but there's only one way to tell.
It's still a good show. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I like it. And I guess maybe this kind of works in my favor because I haven't seen a lot of older anime. Because a lot of people have been saying this is a poor man's kaiji, and I personally haven't seen kaiji. But
yeah, same.
I wouldn't call it a poor man's kaiji. They're kind of different. They are similar in presentation and the whole idea of gambling and being over the top. But they kind of different in audience, I guess, and the goal, because Kaiji is all about mind games, and Kakegurui is more about extreme facial expressions, I guess, and cute girls, something like that.
Yeah, no one's got a kaiji nose going on, so comparison is null and void. No one's got a nose that huge.
Yeah, nose is huge. Yeah, that's true.
I can see that because I don't think the gambling is actually that great. The only gambling anime I've seen so far is One Outs, and that was leagues better than this, and even that wasn't amazing, just decent. But it's fun to watch just because of the main character.
Yeah,
it's a good anime to have at the top of the season, just that fun 6 or 7 out of 10 show that some people will dislike it for fair reasons, but
I would think it wouldn't. I don't really know how well it will hold up in the grand scheme of airings for 2017, but for at least this season, it's probably one of my favorites just for being so fun. I'll watch another airing that we will discuss on this list eventually, and I'll be man, if I had to choose between this and Kakegurui, easily.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the worst thing that's in this season, so, and on that note, let's go to Koito Uso, right, that's the next one? Yeah.
Yeah, which I think means Love and Lies.
Mm-hmm. Love and Lies.
Still not the worst title of the season, so it has that going for it.
Yeah, I know people who dislike the show pretty heavily because it's like kind of run-of-the-mill rom-com of the season.
It's not a rom-com.
Yeah, I still like it. It's fine. It's a fun show. I like romances. I said it plenty of times. And it kind of establishes its goal and accomplishes pretty nicely so far. It has an interesting concept. Pretty fun characters, and it has some decent progress as well so far. So what else could we ask for, actually?
Yeah, I'm kind of torn on this one, because on one hand, it's like, I think it's kind of like half really generic and kind of boring, especially with like the character designs. They gotta look awful. Like, these eyes are terrible, these characters look like shit. That's one thing, I'm not budging on that. But at the same time, it's got a really cool concept. Like, I like that idea of, like, the government getting involved and, like, telling you who you have to marry to try and combat birth rates. And then you have, like, interesting dynamics with, like, I like the girl who he's gonna be, like, married to. Like, I like how on her first meeting with him, she calls him out for being, like, boring as fuck. Because he is really boring. Like, the MC is, like, the most boring dude of all time. She's like, I don't want to marry you, you fucking suck. And that was pretty cool, because I feel like it let them have some, like, genuine interactions. And, I mean, I don't know how much into spoilers we're going. There was a really cool twist in this last episode that I didn't really see coming, and I think that just makes it, like, interesting enough to be out of the ordinary.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can agree with it. I wish there was more world building, though. Like, the whole concept of the world where there are arranged marriages all the time happening. I wish there were more world building. Like, do divorce exist at all?
Like, are they allowed to get divorced? Are they allowed to turn down their future husband and wives? Are they, like, what's the scheme? Like, in the first episode, we saw, like, essentially the government police showing up with his notice and stuff, but, like, what's the scheme of, like, are you forced to get married? Are you forced to have kids? Like, where do these, like, restrictions start and end? We don't really know.
That's kind of my problem with this show. I think the concept is really fucking stupid. I think it's just it's a tough pill to swallow for sure. And really, at the end of the day, it's just an excuse for these characters to have, like, this forbidden love. Like, I think the immediate comparison you can make to this show is Scum's Wish. Just, it doesn't have all the sex, but, like, it just seems so dumb. Just, like, you have to get married to some person, or I don't know. I just think that's just a thing that people should work out for themselves, and if the government were to actually control that, it would just create a bunch of problems, such as this, where it's like, what if you fall for a girl before you get your arranged marriage? Then what happens? You know?
It also doesn't really take into consideration how they're, like, teenagers and their feelings change. Like, it's not, like, who knows if this dude would, like, still be in love with the other girl, like, 5 or 10 years down the line when he's, like, ready to get married. Like, we don't really know. That's why I think it would be interesting if you could see some of the, like, ramifications of the government thing, of the government notice, like, on the adults. Like, are his parents happily married? Are they, like, were they in a similar situation? Like, we don't even know, but I don't really know if we're gonna get into that or if we'll get into generic hijinks, but depending on what they do, it could either be, like, a, like, decent enough rom-com, or it'll just be run-of-the-mill with some terrible eyes and character designs.
Terrible eyes, yeah. Yeah, we'll
the
see
big
about it.
shoujo eyes.
Coming for that clan ad complaint. Those giant bug eyes.
Yeah, it feels like Nisekoi at times, because there's also a Kanahana voicing one of the characters, dance MC, and kind of stupid premise where you're forced to meet a girl and to eventually marry her. We'll see. Yeah, it kind of feels like an excuse to establish the plot so far. I hope they establish something more interesting with that. What sucks is that we won't get an ending out of the anime because the manga is still ongoing and it's pretty far from the show. So Yeah, we won't see the ending, and we have to cope with the unfinished romance.
Oh my god, this has 137 chapters. What the fuck?
How can they have that much content in that? Interesting.
That worries me a lot because just in the first episode alone, there's a lot of really dumb shit that happens. Like the whole reason why the main character is in love with this one girl and why she loves him back is because he gave her a fucking eraser. That's the whole reason.
Yeah,
and then in the middle of
kind of weird.
And then, like, in the middle of the night, just when these people aren't even supposed to be outside at all, the government just finds them and it's like, hey, here's your marriage notice. Like, how'd you find me?
Government controls everything.
There's something scary about that.
It's actually a dystopia, yeah.
Super dystopia. But you can still be a boring MC and have a girl remember you because you gave her an eraser. Like, whatever. So I'm definitely on team, what's her name?
Rina?
Misaki?
Ravina?
Oh, wait.
Whatever.
Ravina, okay.
Yeah, she's the best. She's the best. She called him out for sucking. She's trying to get them together. She's just the best. Everyone else can come in second. But, yeah, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully she doesn't get screwed over, but we only have 12 episodes, so she probably won't.
Yeah, but it's not like the MC is a big guy to chase, so, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you got her and him, and then, like, his best friend, who is interesting. Don't know if we want to disclose that, but...
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I feel like it's at least will be entertaining enough for one season, so...
Yeah.
Maybe. By the way, just before we move on, I said that Kakegurui had the best OP overall, but this show has the best song.
This song is so catchy, right?
Yeah,
It's so catchy.
I love it.
Oh yeah, and actually the entire host is pretty fucking great. It kind of feels like out of place at times, where it's too loud or is used in rather weird scenes. But the host itself is pretty good. Like, it's really good. Like, sometimes I'm finding myself listening to music and paying attention to it rather than the scene I'm watching. Yeah, it tells something, I guess.
That's what I did for Scum's Wish. I hated that show. But anything else you guys have to say?
Nah, not really.
Nope.
All right. I guess one thing we should do is would you recommend watching this?
I'd say stick with it in the meantime.
For fans of rom-coms, I guess, yes.
I'm not really sure where you're getting the rom-com part, but romance for sure, at least.
He thought it was funny to just listen to the songs instead of the dialogue, since the main character is so canonically
I'll give
boring.
you this. You can make it your own rom-com.
But yeah, anything can be a rom-com if you try hard enough.
Yep.
I'd say it's worth checking out. Because I'm pretty much all in on checking it out. Like, after the first episode, I was like, this is really cringe. But then I really like the twist from the last episode, because I thought it would be kind of I thought we would be getting some form of a love polygon, but now it's looking like a very different shape. I don't even know what shape to describe this as, but I think it's a cool twist. And the fact that the show can have twists makes me hold my reservations.
Okay. So, next show is Hajimete no Gal, which none of you watched, right?
No, I reasonably stayed away from it.
Okay. Don't watch Hajimete no Gal. Next show is Gamers. Trust me, we don't need to talk about that one.
Nailed that one.
I guess. I don't know. Is it worse than Eromanga Sensei?
Okay, let me just tell you. I got 10 minutes into this show and I dropped it. I'm like, I can't fucking handle this. It is I was cringing so hard that I felt every bone in my body breaking. I can't believe how absolutely vapid it was. It just starts off with a panty shot. Literally first frame. And
but the Monogatari series starts off with a panty shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it was a weird... It was a kind of an strange, stylish sort of thing. This is just like ass in your face, just right
Are you sure
there.
you're just not understanding the deeper symbolism? I hear that's a common problem amongst other deep shows with panty shots.
Okay, there's another character who shows up later, and it's like the main character's little sister. She has like tits the size of the fucking moon, and everyone starts talking about how she looks like a little girl.
Yeah, I guess I saw it. Yeah, it's kind of bothersome.
It's like, I don't know. It's like this show is really trying to be funny, and it's just not working at all. And then
So it's another rom-com, a self-made rom-com.
No, I guess it actually is a legit rom-com, but like I don't feel bad I don't want any of these characters to get laid at all. Like the main character has these friends that all sit around in class and are like, that feel when no girlfriend, why don't we have girlfriend? And then they just whip out a porn magazine in class, and I'm like, I don't know, man, it sucks to be you. And then just the fact that the main character is probably going to get together with the poster girl. Actually, he does. I've kind of seen this, but I have a feeling it's going to be like what's the word, glorifying him in a way, and I'm just like, fuck off, dude. He fucking dies or something. That would be a good show. Yeah, don't watch this fucking cuck anime or this fedora tipping anime. That's my opinion of it. My amazing 10-minute opinion. But now we can talk about gamers.
I have not seen this yet, but I hear good things.
I heard mixed opinions about it. Like some people call it a generic, run-of-the-mill, like club show, and other people have been enjoying it. Like it's a pretty decent show. So I guess I don't know. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. What do you have to say more?
Oh yeah. None of us have seen this. That's interesting. But I specifically skipped out on gamers just because I read the synopsis, and it's like, oh, it's like a fun club comedy series, and I'm just like, I'll pass. I'm sure this show is fine for what it is, just being like this fun club-based rom-com. But like my immediate impression of it is that this is probably going to end up just like Konobi or This Art Club Has a Problem, which came out last year. Like that was another club show that I purposefully skipped just because it didn't seem interesting at all. And a lot of people watched it and they gave it like a 6 out of 10 and said, yeah, that was a great time. And then no one talked about it ever again. Have you seen anyone talk about Konobi since it ended? Because I haven't.
A bit, yeah, but not really.
Yeah, and I just have a feeling that gamers is going to be the same thing. Everyone's going to watch it, just to have it on their lineup because they're watching like 12 shows, and then it's like, yeah, that was fine. They gave it a 6 out of 10, and then no one talks about it ever again.
Yeah, so the word you're looking for is mediocre, right?
Yeah, like non-offensively mediocre. I think that's fine. I'm just not interested, so I skipped it personally, even though it's one of the more popular shows this season.
Yeah, it seems like it caters for the gamers audience so far, and there are like lots of references and cool stuff. So I guess it has its going for it. But I don't know. I'm not really interested in watching it so far. Maybe if it goes places, we'll see.
I'm just a little worried that maybe possibly it would pander like The Big Bang Theory would. But I haven't seen the show, so I can't make that judgment. But what were you saying, Shao?
Oh, I was saying, yeah, I think it like, maybe if I keep hearing good things as the season goes on, I might check it out, but I'm not feeling too, like, incentivized to watch it. Just seems kind of there.
Yeah, it's just there. So that's...
Yeah, it showed up.
That's fine.
Yeah, and if anyone who is hearing it has watched it, please leave your opinions and comments, because it's kind of interesting what you have to say about it. Maybe we'll pick it up.
Yeah, I might like look at the discussion threads just because it's by a new studio, and so I'm interested in that to see how it looks. But other than that, yeah. Next is Tsurezure Children. I butchered that.
Yeah, that's how I call it. Or TC because I can't pronounce it. So I like really enjoyed this so far. This has been, like, the cutest, funniest, like, actual rom-com. Like, actual, like, funny, like, romance vignettes. So, I'm enjoying it. Not too much to say on it. It's cool how I like how it switches to, like, the different couples and stuff. Or, like, the different ships. So, like, you kind of don't get tired of one too soon. And it doesn't really feel old, because you're just going to, like, different snapshots, so to speak. But I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, I like it. It's just like a collection of just these short little stories about relationships forming, I guess. Just like a bunch of high school romances. Some of them are funny, some of them are not. Like the first episode was really comedic, the second episode not so much. But yeah, it's fun.
I like the second. I think the second episode had the one with the Kanahana ship, and then like the little sister shows up, and then like.
Oh yes, the little sister.
Yeah, and she like tries to convince her brother like to not like reject her, and she's like has her own like cheering squad on the side. She's like dump her. Like that was a pretty fun one.
Yeah, it's a fun little show. It's short, and there isn't really much to say about it. It's just there. It's fun to watch. I'm not sure how it will hold, like, and will be remembered in like 1 year from now. We'll see about it. It's cute. It's fun to watch.
I do like how it's a short. Like, I think the short makes it, like, the length isn't too much. Like, it's not too much to watch. You can just put it on, chill, and then, like, be done with it really quickly.
Yeah, it might suffer, though, from episodic nature, when there will be, like, probably not as good stories as some of the better ones, and you're, like, just sitting around waiting for your favorite couple to appear, and it might not happen this episode. So you're pretty bored, and it's not really fun, yeah.
Well, it is really tough to beat that, like, the student council president and the delinquent one in the first episode.
Oh, yeah, it was my favorite one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's tough to beat that one. That one's tough to top, where she thought he was gay, and he's like, no, I've tested that. I've concluded I'm not gay.
Yep. Yeah, it's just some couples are pretty vanilla, I would say. Like, we have seen them many times in other rom-coms, and some of them are pretty unique, and they're like usually are like supporting cast in anime shows and really get a main focus. And in the Tsurezure Children, they are main couples. Everyone's a main couple, and it's fun to watch them not being like supporting cast or like third rate characters, but the main ones. So yeah, it's pretty unique. It's fun. I'm happy with watching it, I say.
Yeah, so we'd all recommend it.
Yeah, yep. Definitely recommend it.
Because I would.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's good, and it is important to mention that it's a short. It's I think 12 minutes.
Yeah,
something like that. The interesting thing about it is that it comes out in the same block as Aho Girl, which is the next show we're talking about. That segue just wrote itself.
That was a good one.
But yeah, Aho Girl is another 12-minute short series, and definitely uses that short length to its advantage. So have you guys seen this one?
I haven't. I can't tell if this is a serious, like, good show or a dank good show. I'm not really sure. I didn't even know it was a short, so, I mean, that's good to hear. Makes me more inclined to pick it up. I know you're watching it.
Yeah, I would say it's both, but have you seen it, Kav?
No, I haven't seen it. I heard that, once again, mixed opinion about it. Like, some were like, it's a pretty fun show, and other people were like, no, it's stupid as fuck. I don't know. Yeah, so what's your take on it?
Yeah, this is like this is both dank good, and it's also just good in general. Like I actually think this is like legitimately amazing comedy. The first episode in particular, so the main character, Aho Girl, means idiot girl, and they take that to the absolute most extreme. This girl is so stupid that she gets zeros on multiple choice questions. She was just incompetent at literally everything. And what's great about it is that it doesn't try glorifying her or anything. There is no one. It's not like anyone's like, oh, but she has like such a nice personality. She's such a nice girl. Like, everyone around her is just like, what the fuck is wrong with her? The other main character, his name's Akun, who he's her next door neighbor. He's been around her for their entire lives, and he's so fucking sick of her shit at every moment that like he's willing to he visits her house, and her mother is like, oh, I'm so sorry, my daughter gives you so much trouble, and they kind of make some plan for like something to happen, and then he just says, if this doesn't work, we can just have her commit a crime, and then she'll be locked away. And it's like, oh my god, dude, that's fucked up.
That's pretty funny. I like that when they're not just like, oh, you're retarded, but it's fine. But it's fine. It's like, no, like this is not okay. But it works really well in a comedy setting.
So
and I don't even think it's. Oh, what's up?
Go on. It sounds like it's a Bokeh routine taken to extreme.
Yeah, I mean, the comedy is basically that that Yoshiko, the main character, she doesn't just like. She's just like, I don't even know if it's like she's not socially inept. She just understands everything like so wrong or something. Like she thinks that Akun is in love with her because he's been around her for his entire life. Like they even go to the same high school together, and it's like, no, I'm just here because this was like the most convenient school to go to based on like the like how good the school is and where it is and stuff. It's like, oh, so you're a tsundere, and that's some stuff funny. Like that. Yeah, and it's great because at least in the first episode, it just has this momentum where it's like every single joke, like every new piece of information, everything that gets introduced in the episode just becomes another joke. It's like everything just builds and builds and builds and builds, and it's just rapid fire. I can't believe how like consistently hilarious it is. Like I can't give a short example, but just one of my favorite scenes is like Yoshiko really loves bananas. That's just the thing. She's just obsessed with eating bananas, and then she's never mind. But okay, I'll just say this. She was in trouble with someone, with like this disciplinary committee girl, and so she's trying to like make a peace offering. She's like, I'll give you this banana, but it's not an ordinary banana. You're gonna eat it, and then your body's gonna crave more and more. And she's like, do you mean that indecent kind of banana? And she's like, no, it's just a high quality banana. They cost 1,000 yen each. What's an indecent banana? What's it? And she's like, she just keeps bothering this girl as she's just like embarrassed in her own mind. She's like, oh no, what if I said? She's like, what is an indecent banana? What is it? What is it? Oh, it's a no! It's just good.
All right.
Okay, plan to watch.
Yeah. Like I know I was super hype about Renai Bokun last season, and not a lot of people agreed with me, but this is like even better than that. Just way better. Particularly because it's a short, maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. I wasn't that fond of Renai Bokun, as you know. I'll still give it a shot, I guess.
I guess if there's any consolation, Renai Bokun like tried to have a plot. This is just, it's nothing. It's a slice of life. And stuff, and it has like Nichijou level reactions where like Akun will punch Yoshiko like she'll like punch him or he'll punch her across the entire room in like this super well animated fashion, and it's fantastic. My rating scale is the closer to Nichijou the better. Oh no, did I cut out? Oh no.
A few moments later.
We'll fix this. I got this. I'm gonna get this fixed. Why is it not connecting? Rip me.
5 minutes later.
This is the worst. I hate this. This sucks. This is awful.
6 hours later.
We're back on track now. Next show is Katsugeki Touken Ranbu. Has anyone seen this?
Nope.
All right, awesome. Another one.
I I mean, it's an adaptation of a card game, and it's like very popular in Japan, and I have no idea about it, so I decided to wisely skip it. So that's about it.
Yeah, pretty much. I think I was like gonna check it out, and then I heard it wasn't that good, so then I ended up like not checking out. I heard it was just the Fujo show of the season.
I mean, I guess. The thing about this is that it got popular because Ufotable is animating it. That's the only reason I can think of.
Yeah, and it's also an adaptation of a really popular card game, even in West, I guess. Like, people know about it and play it. So, yeah. I feel like if I'm gonna watch it, I'll miss out on a lot of context. Like, who are these guys? Why do they fight? What's going on? And go on and on.
Well, that's exactly the thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
you can go on.
yeah, and I just decided to skip it altogether because I'm not a big on action genres in general, and I'm not hard when it comes to Ufotable. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
about
I mean,
it.
I'm personally not a fan of Ufotable either. So, and the thing is, like, you're exactly right. If you watch this and you don't play Touken Ranbu, you're gonna miss a lot of stuff, and that's why I dropped this, because I don't know jack shit about Touken Ranbu. This show expects you to. Like, it doesn't really take time to explain what's going on or who the characters are or what or anything at all. It's just Touken Ranbu.
Yeah, I guess you dropped it, right?
Yeah, I dropped it after just 2 episodes because I'm just like, it's not going to get any better. And, I'm sure that's fine for people. Like, I'm sure it's just a thing for people who like Touken Ranbu. I don't disrespect that.
And
but
for Fujos.
I mean, I guess I'm not in. Yeah. But, that's not my thing. I mean, just for comparison, there was another Touken Ranbu show that came out last year, and no one watched it because it was Touken Ranbu. So it's just the fact that Ufotable animated this is.
No one watched it, but in Japan it sold like tens of thousands of copies. So yeah,
because Touken Ranbu is huge in Japan.
It's just their thing. Yeah, we do not belong in it, so whatever.
But not so much here. So that's all that really needs to be said about it. So next up is Isekai wa smartphone to Tomi ni, or In Another World with My Smartphone.
The worst title I've ever heard for a show, and like, gotta be ever. Like,
I assure you, if you think the title of this anime is bad, I assure you, the anime is even worse.
because like this is already just it's already just ReZero. Like, he was in another world with his smartphone, and that
Yeah,
like,
the shitty
it.
flip phone. This is the upgrade of ReZero, I guess.
ReZero.
I heard it's like a poor man's Konosuba. Like, it's trying to go for jokes, but falls flat, and it's just in general not that funny.
This is not even remotely funny, in my opinion. Like, I can't even really sense the comedy in this show. It's just so flat and boring. And here's the fucking thing about Isekai Smartphone. So I said that this is even worse than the title implies. It's one thing that, like, I can buy into this show. I personally like isekais. I think or at least I want to like isekais. Like, I think it's just fun to have like a it makes for an interesting sort of fantasy anime where it's like this person is entering another world and has these, he uses logic from another world in this fantasy world. I think that's fine, and I can actually buy into the concept, supposedly, just because, he has this one piece of technology that, it's extremely different from this fantasy world and can change everything. But the thing is, this guy has literally no reason to have a smartphone. He, like, I'm serious, this guy is fucking Kirito. He's God, basically. Like, he literally meets God and, like, asks, hey, can I, like, take this smartphone here? It's like, yeah, sure, and I'll, like, let you use magic and stuff. He can use every magic in this world literally that's supposed to be impossible. Like, the other characters say, oh, that's impossible. Like, no one's ever used, like, all 7 elements or whatever. And not only can he use all of them, but he's, like, extremely gifted at all of them. Like, this guy is insanely overpowered, and on top of, like, having heightened mental abilities and physical abilities, it's like, this guy can do anything. The thing about Re:Zero, like, what made that show interesting is because Subaru had no powers, and he, like, had to use his own, like, real-world smarts and the small tools he had on hand. Like, I thought it was great how he would use his shitty flip phone as, like, a bargaining piece. Like, hey, I have this thing that can, like, it can freeze time. See? It was really cool. But this, like, the guy barely even uses his smartphone. Like, he in episode 2, he saves 2 members of royalty and therefore becomes this, like, honorable member of nobility just by using magic. He doesn't use the fucking smartphone, so what's the point?
So there's no point in which the smartphone becomes a, like, plot point.
The title was a joke.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's just in another world. That's what this show is. It's in another world. He just happens to have a smartphone. Like, he uses it to invent ice cream. That's the one thing he's done so far, is he's invented ice cream in the first episode. And personally, I think the show should have just ended there. He should have just invented ice cream and then just ridden on that for the rest of his life. Like, I made ice cream. I'm the richest person in the world because ice cream is fucking cool and everyone loves it.
Ice cream is cool. Yeah, I see what you did there. Anyway, I only have one question. How is he charging his smartphone without electricity?
Basically, God modified the smartphone so that it could actually be usable in the world. So, and I think that's, like, he can charge it with magic.
Okay,
and
it's magic.
Magic, exactly. And it can, like he can use the internet, but, like, just not actually post anything with it, I guess. So that's how he invents ice cream. He just gets an article off of the internet.
What a lazy way! What?
Yeah, this show is so lazy with the writing, the production, the everything.
Alright.
How tragic.
I think the one sign of the show being super lazy is that the poster of it is just all of the characters and the main characters, like, holding up the phone as if he's taking a selfie. Like, how much cooler would the poster have been if the poster was just the selfie? Like, he wasn't actually holding the phone, it was just shot in this weird way that made it look like a selfie. God damn it. I'm more creative than this show.
You need to, like, go in anime production. I think you got this down.
Yeah, fucking... Yeah, this show is, like, so laughably horrible. This show is literally the reason why isekais get a bad genre. This is exactly why people looked at Re:Zero and said, I'm not watching that, because it
well, he did have a smartphone, so you can't deny the connections.
Like, he just had a shitty flip phone. It wasn't that much, but...
I'm glad you asked the question about charging the phone cab, because that's the biggest, like, plot hole of all time, is these guys, like, using their phone for more than 3 hours and not needing to charge them.
That was the biggest plot hole of Re:Zero.
It was. Like, he's been there for, like, a month, and he could still use his phone. Such lazy writing. Tragic.
Yep.
Terrible. Yeah, fucking Isekai smartphone, even worse than it actually sounds, would not recommend to anyone. Goddamn. So yeah, that's that. And the next show is Classroom of the Elite, or some long Japanese title that I'm not going to bother pronouncing.
It's Jiu-Jitsu, basically. By the first two words of the title, yeah. I'm watching it, and it's pretty weird. Like, it really has very clear vibes of Arigairo, especially in terms of characters and their interactions. Like, the main character is like Hachiman in a sense, but then we have a girl like Suzune who is literally Yukino. Like, even the same style, even the same manner of speech, the same hairstyle, everything, like even the family circumstances, it's just so jarring. And the girl who is like a hybrid of Yui and Iroha, and the whole Like, I don't know, not writing, but atmosphere, I guess. It kind of reminds of Origairu, and I would not favorably compare it to Origairu in anything so far. But then again, maybe it's the wrong mindset, and we should just approach this like some kind of more serious version of Assassination Classroom, I guess, because it's just a concept of a class trying to get together and do shit together and not like exploring like characters. I don't know. I wouldn't say I like it so far. What about you?
It's a good thing that a random dude man bro guy is not here because he would get triggered by your Origairu comparisons.
I mean, yeah, I'm kind of interested in what he has to say because it really reminds of Origairu, and it's not only me, it's people in the Discord, in Iranian threads. Everyone is calling it like a poor version of Origairu.
That's what I know it as, is the poor version of Origairu.
Yeah.
Sha, have you seen this?
I have not, but, I mean, I'm not against seeing the poor man's Origairu, but if it's just poor and not very Origairu, then maybe not. I don't know. It seems like another high school show. I haven't heard much substance from it. And something called Classrooms of the Elite just sounds really pretentious. And, like,
it's actually
dumb.
really pretentious, yeah. Every episode starts with some kind of quote by some philosopher of the past, and why? Like, why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Too
deep for you, man.
Too elite for you.
Too elite for you, yeah, I guess. I'm still gonna watch it because I'm a sucker for rom-coms and school stuff in general, high school. But I would not raise my hopes. Like, we had a conversation about which of the shows between Koitouso and Jiu-Jitsu would be more terrible. And I believe most people would say it was Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah. I do not have high hopes on it. But we'll see. We'll see.
I glossed over this at the beginning of the season, but then I saw that it's actually getting a lot of hype. It's got a pretty good rating on Mal. A lot of people are watching it. So I'm like, okay, I should check this out. So I just watched the first episode just a couple hours ago, and I'm like, why the fuck is this the most highly rated show this season? This is like... So, it's... I don't know. Maybe it's just the first episode that was particularly bad, but it was like, that was seriously one of the worst first episodes of the show. Of the whole season.
Nah. Second episode isn't getting better.
Oh god damn. That doesn't... It's like I was just so turned off at the beginning where it's like all the characters in the classroom just like they just stand up and like, hey, let's all introduce ourselves. Okay, I'm this guy and I like this thing. Okay, cool. What's your name? I'm this guy. And it's like, okay, cool. And then the teacher walks in and just explains the plot. Like she just walks in, and for the record, what the fuck is up with this design? Like this cow-titted chick with the super low cut shirt. Is this prison school or something? I don't know, but she just walks in and is like, okay, you're in this school where it's like all of I don't know, you're like ranked based on your merit or something, and you all get special points that you can use as things to buy food and stuff with. You're going to be living here for the next whatever years, and I'm going to like, okay, cool, fine. And I don't know, it just felt like the episode just kind of dragged on because I knew what was going to happen is that all these kids were going to spend all of their points at once because they get 100,000 points, which is basically 100,000 yen. Yeah, because these people are fucking stupid as hell. I don't know how they got into this school where...
There are so many issues with the logic, like ranging from collective responsibility, like what the fuck? Why is there is a collective responsibility in the school, and to the point where no one is reading the pamphlet. Like the idea of them losing the point is so obvious, and no one even knew about it. It's jarring. Like what? Where is the logic in this? It's like a convenient excuse for plot moving forward. Disgusting.
It's called Classroom of the Elite, but these people are pretty freaking dumb elites. I don't know what.
Yeah, they are trash. Yeah.
I want to know. I don't even know why they're in this school. Like this is a government-funded agency that only accepts like 300 students at a time. So it's like, how did these guys even get in here, and why are they so stupid that they didn't see that this was like an obvious trap? Like, of course you're like, I mean, I didn't know what the twist was specifically. Like, I didn't know exactly how the points work, but I'm just like, these guys are going to get fucked over immediately. Like, they're not going to get points for whatever reason. Like, and so everyone that spends all of their points at once is going to be, left to die. But that was just really dumb.
Yeah, we'll see. My expectation is that they're going to hang out with each other, like grow attached to each other, and just spend some time together and grow up as a class and beat other class, and everyone will be fine. Nah,
Yeah,
not
maybe.
really interesting.
I mean, I guess the one draw of this show is I'm kind of into the main characters. The main like lazy asshole Origaru guy, and the other chick who's not really a tsundere, she's just really stern. I think their chemistry together is like all right, but other than that, I'm not into this. I'll keep watching because it's one of the bigger shows for the season. But
I didn't realize it was that big. I didn't realize people were like paying attention to it.
It'll probably like get more popular later, but like as of right now, the light novel readers are like really hyping it up. So
yeah, I mean, source flag
as they tend to do.
Flag. Yeah.
Source readers, why?
Yeah, thanks, guys. And speaking of source readers ruining everything, here we have Made in Abyss.
So this is like easily my favorite show of the season, like probably by far. I heard.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah, I really like it so far. I think it did a good job with like its first episode of like doing some cool world building, like telling you what's going on without being too heavy-handed. And it also feels really like the characters feel like really genuine kids, and they set up an interesting environment in which like this cool adventure can happen. So I heard like a lot of high praise from source readers before it started, and I was on the like ambivalent, and then to see it actually like be really intriguing so far has made me pretty excited. So I'm all in on this series. What about you guys?
Yeah, Made in Abyss, some people call it like dark horse of the season, but it's not really a dark horse of the season. It's like a favorite of the season for many people. It's like one of the most hyped shows, I guess.
Yeah, there's nothing dark horse about it. It's like pretty big.
It's just a dark horse just because it's like kind of unpopular, which is probably due to the fact that this got licensed by fucking Amazon. So it's one of those shows.
Not only, it's not a very popular studio. It has some a bit of outdated designs, I'd say. Like there are kids, but not like moe kids. Like they're just genuine kids, which is actually great. I would actually compare Made in Abyss to one of my favorite anime of all time, Dino Coil, which also has to do with kids investigating something mysterious and some pretty serious things.
Which show did you compare it to?
Dino Coil.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it has also great animation, as kind of a similar character design. Yeah, and it's also really good. So, yeah, I'm liking Made in Abyss really much so far. It has got great world building, interesting characters, great dynamics, like everything about it is pretty much perfect so far. Yeah, I'm hyped to watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm with you guys all the way, especially you, Shaw. Like, this is by far my favorite show this season. Like, I have not felt this strongly about a seasonal anime in a long time. At least not from episode 1. But, like, I'm seriously just blown away by just the whole concept of the world. Like, the this civilization that formed around this really mysterious abyss that goes like who the hell knows how deep, and it's like as you go deeper in the abyss, it's like like if you try going back up, the consequences get so severe that you can just die just straight up just from rising.
Yeah, I like how serious it is. Like there are kids, but it's serious. It's a very interesting dynamic. Once again was explored in Dino Coil and in some Ghibli movies. Yeah, and it's really rare in anime, especially nowadays. Like because they're genuine kids, not like the ones you see in your general high school anime, where they're like OPMCs, tsunderes, kuderes, and many tropes. It's genuine kids, and it's perfectly fine. Like, I know there are some complaints about character designs, but again, some people just have to expand their horizons, I guess, and take the show for what it is.
Yeah, it's not like they can look like just like generic high school lollies and shit, because they're like kids in another setting. And I think they look like very genuine kids, and they're trying to really play that up, because it's like, you know, they're not supposed to look like really attractive. Kids are dumpy looking. Like, that's how they look in real life, and that's how I think they're supposed to look here. And I like how they're not shying away from how, like, serious it is. Like, you know, as that you guys all probably know by now, this is going to be apparently super dark. Thanks, Source Readers. Great job. You guys are as subtle as the world is. Like, nicely done. But, you know, like, these, like, two kids almost gotten, like, eaten within the first 10 minutes of the show. Like, they're not shying away from how serious the world is and how serious the abyss is. And I appreciate that, you know. They're not like, yo, look how dangerous this is, and then you haven't seen an example of it. Like, we know they're going to be into some, like, really serious shit.
I know a lot of people kind of ripped on Suka last season because that was a show that started off all right, but then it's like it was also promising to get dark later. And a lot of people disliked it just because it felt like it was always trying to be like, oh, next scene, next episode, that's when it's going to get really bad for everything. Like, you can tell that Made in Abyss will get dark, not because of that, but just because it's like, you can just tell that there's something just like oddly fucked up about this whole world that they're in.
Something is wrong, like terribly wrong. Just how kids tend to the world, like how they appear in it. Yeah, something is really wrong. And it's pretty great.
Everyone is like so... Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. I really like how they do, like, they do a lot of showing how dark and mysterious it is, and they don't have to just straight out tell you. Like, there's the one part where, I mean, this just really stuck out to me in the last episode when we see them, like, go into the abyss, and they have the perspective of the friends, and you see the, robot's, like, arm let go. Like, that did a great job of just really emphasizing, like, they're gone. And I think it was, like, a really cool directing on their part.
Yeah, it was just, they just descended to this pitch black nothingness. It was like, whoa. And plus right before that, they were exploring through these, like, really dark, shady, like, slums with all these rundown houses and stuff. The backgrounds in this show are next fucking level. Like, I can't get over how good this show looks.
It's gorgeous, yep.
Like, it's phenomenal. But just, like, back to, like, how dark everything is. It's like, the more you learn about the Abyss, it's like, even though the main character, Rico, and to an extent, Reg, they really want to explore this thing, but the more you learn about it, it's like, guys, I don't think you should do that. That's, like, not good at all.
Loki, like, MVP moment has to go to her friend who's like, dude, your mom probably died. Like, I'm so glad they had someone say that, because, you know, you always have those MCs who are like, there's, like, 110, almost 110% proof that the person they're trying to find is dead. And, like, no one says anything because, like, you know, oh, they're kids, or, like, oh, they'll be sensitive. But, like, props to that guy for being like, dude, your mom is dead. Like, that's why they found her shit. Like, she is dead. And, of course, she reacted reasonably, but, like, you gotta say that if you're friends, because they're about to go die on this mission to possibly find someone who's not even living. And that was a really, like, authentic thing to do. Like, and I appreciate that as well.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah. I lost my train of thought, but I agree with you.
It's gone in the abyss.
Yep.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, and the characters are all fine. I like Riko. She's super like happy-go-lucky, adventurous sort of, and I like Reg because he's this robot kid that doesn't like know where he comes from or like what he's actually doing, and it's just such a fun show despite how dark it actually is.
They're establishing the mystery really well, like the mystery of Abyss, the mystery of Reg, the mystery of Riko and her mom. Like, everything is mysterious so far. We know just not many things, and there are still many things for us to explore, and they seem like fun things to explore as well. Again, the only concern is that it's not going to be adapted to the end, and we will only see just some bits, and we will probably be baited to reading the manga. So yeah, we will have to go with it. Yeah,
I mean, the manga's still ongoing, but this is seriously the first time that an anime has actually made me want to read the source material like before it ends, not just to like see what happens next, but just because like everything is just so fascinating. Like, you just have this amazing world and all these great characters. It's just it's gripping.
I think it's cool too, because like I think I like the characters too, but I think like even if you're not really invested in them, like you said, Cav, there's a lot of like different mysteries going on, like a lot of points of intrigue going on in the show. So like as long as you grab onto one, like you're pretty much have an entertaining experience all set.
Yep.
Yeah. This is just like this is best everything of the season for me. This is best art, best characters.
Cav has been making noises whenever we say best of the
season. Yeah, the next show, which we're going to discuss, has also some pretty fascinating moments, I would say.
I'll give you that, but
well, that's a transition. But
I totally fucked it up. I just wanted to say that. But I just want to talk about Made in Abyss. All right, this is the Made in Abyss podcast. It has best ED, best art, best characters, best story, best music, best freaking everything. Everyone needs to watch this show. I just love it so much. And now we can talk about Ballroom e Youkoso, or Welcome to the Ballroom, motherfucker.
Yep. I like it a lot. It's just in general very high quality anime, I would say. Like, everything about it is on a very high level. The characters, the animation, the feeling, like, I do not believe this show can go wrong at all. Like, it has everything going for it. The atmosphere, the exposition, the characters. I don't know, like, the setup is perfect for some great shonen. I guess people are comparing it to Haikyuu, especially because character designs are so similar, strikingly similar.
And it has the same music composer as well. And it's IG Productions.
Yeah, I would say it establishes itself better than Haikyuu so far. Like, especially because I like the main character so much. Like, they shown his anxiety and his desire to grow as a person very well. Like, it still feels like shonen, but at the same time, it's kind of refreshing because it just really, really well done.
So I guess I'm watching it too, and I like it so far, but I'm definitely not wowed by it as much as I guess like you and like other people are, because I think it has had similar reception of being like very like overwhelming good vibes from the beginning. I'm not really a fan of like the first episode that much. I haven't really found much to like root for in the characters, I guess. But I think this is kind of like a standard sports beginning, because I watched a bunch of like shonen sports, and if there's one thing that I've noticed that they have in common is that they don't tend to have really strong beginnings. Like, when I first started Haikyuu, I wasn't big on the first 2 episodes. Same with basketball, K&B, like Kuroko's Basket. Same with Yoapeta. Like, I don't think their strong points come from their beginning. so I'm very much willing to let this show see what happens. But I'm waiting for the characters to kind of establish their personalities more. I think just like across the board. I think it's been fun so far, but nothing has really blown me away. And I hate to be that guy, but some of the character designs do bother me a bit. Not so much the necks. I know everyone's on the necks because they're like the giraffe necks. I know everyone's on the giraffe necks, but I actually find like their like eyelashes and like eyes are just like really like kind of creepy. I don't know. I think they're kind of like too detailed. That's what I notice more than the necks. But I know everyone's all in on the necks. But so I think it's a good show I think it's good, and I think it's definitely worth watching, but I don't think it's done anything amazing so far. But I think it can do something amazing, so I'm willing to wait it out.
What I personally love about this, I personally like that it actually shows dancing in like this fun, kind of instructive way. It's like you can actually see like how it works, and it's like it's good for an audience member that doesn't know shit about ballroom dancing like me. And I think it like for what it right now it's all right. It's just an all right show, but it's like it's following a lot of tropes so far, but I think it's handling the tropes really well. Like it has the main character that doesn't know shit about ballroom dancing, and he's just trying to like, you know, he just wants to like learn just so he can do it, and he like tries going into this like really expensive class with this really great instructor. What I personally love about this is that it starts off with the teacher. He's like offended by this fucking kid. He's just like, who the hell does this guy think he is? He can just walk in and just think he can learn ballroom dancing just because he wants to. Like, fuck this guy.
And that's very authentic for, like, the dance world. Like, they don't take kindly to you just saying, like, I'm just gonna pick up dancing and be like you. That, you know, it takes years on years and years to get really good at it. So I can see something like the first episode where he's like, keep dancing until I tell you to stop, and then the dude's dancing all night, like, happening. Like, this is this is like a like performing arts industry where they like hit ballroom like ballet students to get their posture right. You know, like they're not fucking around with this stuff.
Yeah, it's a good case where working hard makes the best impression. Like he actually kind of succeeds because he wants it the most. It's like that's like such a sports anime thing, but in this it like actually makes a lot of sense for it to happen. Like, you know, the teacher is trying to make him quit, like he's gonna give up in like 10 minutes, he can't do this, but then it's like, oh, he worked all night and broke his shoes. Like I guess he's serious. Oh
yeah, you got to try him.
I think it will be tough to see when, like, the main character gets better, to see, like, in what scale does he get better, because there's no way, realistically speaking, like, within reason of disbelief, that he's gonna be dancing as well as the other two people his age. Like, they've been dancing for 8 years, there's no way he's gonna be able to be as good as, what's his name? Like, Hoido or whatever. Yeah, her and the guy. Like,
yeah, Hyodo.
Like, there's no way he's gonna be on that level. So I'm wondering how they're going to scale it up to be like, have him interact in some kind of dancing way with them for the long term. But, so I hope they do that in a realistic way, and it's not just like, you know, he can see them dancing and then he internalizes it and like gets good at dancing.
So far the characters' interaction has been top notch for me. I hope the show continues in such way, and It will focus on characters' relationship, especially between the pairs of dancers, because it's apparently very important. Like the bond between dancers is very important because it's you have to feel your partner basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is a production IG taking a look at Studio Mappa as like, fuck you guys, we can make Yuri on Ice.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm reasonably hyped about it, and it's 2 core. 2 core is great.
Yeah, 2 cores.
Yeah, that's a good sign.
Yeah, 2 cores, popular manga. A lot of people were excited about this, and I think it's good so far. So I guess we'd all recommend it.
Yes,
obviously. So yeah, good show. Thanks, Amazon. Anything else you guys have to add?
Nah, I think it's worth watching, but
yeah. Yeah, so next show is Isekai Shokudou, or Restaurant to Another World. Another Isekai.
Yeah.
Is anyone watching this?
Yep. It's a kind of different isekai because it's just a very chill show, like an isekai, more like not isekai, isekai. Yeah, it's a hidden anime. There are just people eating food in a restaurant. There are like there are like different creatures even come from the another world to the restaurant and having some delicious food, and it's like I don't know, like it's kind of like Sukigeki no Soma meets I don't know, Amamoto Inazuma, I guess. It's just a chill show. It's just a chill show in general, and it's pretty fun. But I wouldn't that much recommend it. It's just normal show this season, I guess. If you have nothing to do with like your time and you feel like watching something relaxed, I guess it's fine. But nothing too amazing. And I believe it. I'm afraid it will get old, but by like the second half, because the concept is already getting tiresome. Like there are some characters coming to a restaurant and having like this whoa moment, how amazing the food is, and then it's another character coming and same thing happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it is just what it is. It's just fantasy characters. They come into this restaurant. They have their own backstory, and then they come in, then they eat this like a just a more traditional real world food, and they're like, oh wow, this is great. And I'm personally not a fan of it.
It's just fine. It doesn't have any kind of punch to it. Like you're not amazed by anything. It's just kind of there, and I guess it will continue to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of exists. Like that's it.
Yeah, I had some critical opinion on it, but to be honest, I completely forgot it, and we probably don't have time for it anyway. It's just, it is what it is. Take it or leave it, I guess. It's a lot of people are into this, and I respect that. For me, it's just, it doesn't have much of a hook so it's just kind of boring. I don't know what just happened, but Discord's fucking up again. So yeah, no one has anything else to say about...
Nah, not really.
Alright. Sha, you didn't watch it? Or you did?
I guess she didn't.
Oh, did Sha die?
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah.
She's back.
Should we just pick like 3 more and then wrap it up?
Yeah, we only have a couple left. So NTR, real quick.
Yeah.
Do you even want to talk about Netsuzo Trap? It's just like
No.
9 minutes.
It's like dumb. Which ones do we have to talk about? Let's just do the Princess Principal and Fate, and then wrap it up.
Yeah, Knights and Magic sucks. Don't watch that one. So, Princess Principal is next.
Yeah, Princess Principal is one of my favorites of the season, on par with Made in Abyss and Welcome to the Ballroom, I guess. Like, these three shows, like, are way above everything else for me of the season. Princess Principal is great. I had my doubts, like, in the first episode, because I didn't really like the cast. Like, why would they have to be all girls and of high school, like, age? But the second episode was so great, and it kind of made all my worries vanish, basically. Yeah, it has great atmosphere, like, of I don't know, like a 19th century Great Britain, but with some kind of twist, like it's a steampunk or something like that, with cool music, pretty interesting characters, lots of mind games, lies and stuff, and in general it's just a very interesting show, like intriguing, and it's also a regional series, so we're gonna get a complete story and ending, and everything's good with it. So yeah, I'm hyped with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of it so far. I love spy stuff, and I like how it's got a cool, like, what is it, like, steampunk Victorian setting with, like, some war background. It's really cool. I'm hoping that they have, like, an actual story to it. I think they were, like, it seems to be like there's gonna be a consistent story, or if it's, like, episodic, but then has a major, story arc, but I'm all in on it so far. I think it's pretty cool, and it's definitely worth checking out.
With the second episode, it definitely looks like it's going to be more of a consistent story. Like, the first episode was a bit more standalone, just to kind of show, like, this is kind of what you can expect from this anime. And I think that was fine, but, second episode is, like, introduced a lot more stuff. But, yeah, I agree with you guys. I like this show a lot. My one biggest concern is literally just, I hope Actus doesn't fuck this up like they always do. Because every time they make a fucking show, something like terribly wrong happens, and then they have to delay the whole thing by like 3 months. So I just really hope that doesn't happen for this show.
I guess see. Yeah, it's a good show. I would definitely recommend it. If anyone is on the fence about it, yeah, just go and watch first 2 episodes. I guess you'd like it.
Yeah, I think to be honest, my personal recommendation for this is that it's Joker Game, but like take out everything that was bad about Joker Game, and then you have Princess Principal. Like, all the characters actually have personality. You actually see the double crosses and stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, they're hot girls and not hot guys, which is obviously an objective plus for everyone in the world.
Yeah, so you're implying that the Joker Game guys were hot in the first place, which is a bit off.
Got him.
Yeah, I was kind of worried why the entire cast was female, because the show seemed to be serious, and the whole female cast seemed like a moe bait, but the second episode kind of revealed interesting connection between characters, and yeah, everything made sense.
I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense that it takes place in a school and that they look young. Like, I think it checks out. It's not like they have, like, an actual workplace and they're like, oh, they're, like, 30, but they look 5, you know? It makes sense.
Plus, they're all girls just because that's what Actus does. They do, like, they do cute girls doing serious things. Like they did Girls in Panzer, for example. But, and also, just, I want to say that my favorite girl is the one the really little one with the high-pitched voice, because, my god, the thing that happens at the end of the episode 1 was the greatest thing ever.
Oh, Beatrice, I see.
I won't say what happens, but oh my god, I lost my shit. That was the best moment of the whole season.
I already forgot what happened, but you'll have to let me know.
Oh, okay. But, yeah, it's
so
good.
Check it out.
Yeah. It actually kind of feels like a smart show where you actually, like, see the double crosses. Like, there was one part where they're, like, in episode 2 where this one pair, they're trying to communicate while they're dancing on this floor, and there's another group that's trying to get closer. It's like you actually see them, like, avoid each other. It's good. The only thing is that I think it's, like, sometimes too deceitful. Like, all the characters are just like, oh, you're hiding the way you really feel. Like, that's not how you act. Like, are we lying? I don't know. Doesn't matter if we're lying. Like, okay, shut up, guys. I get it. You're all spies.
Yeah.
You're not being honest, but...
Yeah, and if you haven't decided if you want to watch it, I'm just gonna say that the scriptwriter of Princess Principal is the same guy who wrote Code Geass. So, yeah.
Huh.
Expect some mind games and stuff.
Did not know that. But, yeah, I think we all recommend it. So that's cool. And so, we're just gonna skip the reflection. I'll just say there's only one episode. I can't really judge it accurately. It's interesting, but the art style is super interesting, but they can't animate it to save their lives. I hope the story picks up because it definitely needs to, but I don't know. It's a weird show, but it's the Marvel anime that Stan Lee created, so if that is like something you're into, then it might be good, but there's only one episode and it's not enough to really say much about, just that it has a really freaking weird art style. So the last show of the season is the one sequel spin-off that we're going to talk about. It's the new Fate installment, the new installment of the Fate series. Yeah, Fate Apocrypha. And I'm just going to say it again, Fate Apocrypha, because that is such a cool-ass name.
I'm jealous you can say it.
Fate Apocrypha.
I always just think of it as like Fate Eclipse, or like Apocalypse, even though I know it's not.
Well, it's like I don't know. It's like some biblical term, I think.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah, just another show where source fucks are getting in our way of enjoying the show, I guess. Like, because the spoilers are everywhere and people are like, I get a bit too excited about the show in general, I feel. And yeah, it's not very fun.
I feel like source readers of Fate are kind of like source readers of JoJo, where it's like they love everything about the series and they just want to talk about all of it whenever they're talking about a single thing. So it's like when people are talking about Fate Apocrypha, they just want to talk about all of Fate.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that.
Flip a coin to decide who gets to talk.
Oh yeah, you can.
I don't have any opinions of this, so you guys can.
I think it's like fine. It's like fine. I guess it's like I appreciate it for them like fighting an actual war. Like I think that's cool. How we're probably gonna actually see like a Holy Grail war get played out, because a lot of times we get that like in the other Fate series, like they start doing that and then something gets in the way and then it never like turns out that like never goes according to Kaikaku. Like it's always like ideals get in the way, like there's weird double crossing, like you never get to see a full like Holy Grail war get played out, and I think we'll get to see that to some extent, but that's kind of it. I think if you're a Fate fan you'll like it. If you're not a Fate fan you might, I don't know, it's who knows.
I have not seen anything Fate up until this. This is my introduction to the series.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, and I definitely kind of get the impression that this is something that Fate fans might really like, but for an outsider like me, I'm not really that impressed. I mean, I kind of like understand the premise of Fate, where it's like they're all, you have these people, they summon these things called servants, and they fight in this they fight in this war so that the winner gets a wish that they want. They make that clear in this show as well. So it's like you can watch this without any. That's why I watch it, because people were saying you can watch this without having to see anything else from the Fate series. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know if it's like there's just the show itself being not well made, or if it's just like a show that panders to Fate fans in particular, but I'm just not into it at all.
Yeah, I guess you just feel left out because of all the hype and just general lack of context.
But what this actually is just for the Fate Go players to see their roles like actually animated. That's what I'm convinced it is. Like it's for the Fate Go players and like everyone to just see like, oh look, this is what I'm playing, like Rider of Black. Oh, Best Trap, like, whatever, I don't know. I don't think it's got as much substance as the other Fate series, and it doesn't have the same, like, level of characters as the other Fate series does. But, we might see some fun fights, and that's it, I guess. I don't know. I'm pretty neutral on this. We'll see.
Yeah, I have, like, no idea what's going on in this story at all. Up to this point, after 3 episodes, I'm just like,
That's like that's a Fate standard, though.
Things are happening, I guess.
I'm surprised I'm liking it so far. It reminds me more of Fate Zero rather than Fate Stay Night. Like, I'm not a fan of Fate Stay Night, despite reading the visual novel and all that. But Fate Zero is something I genuinely enjoyed because of how mature it was and brutal, I guess. And at times, Apocrypha reminds me of that, like, because probably there are no kids like Shiro in the story this time around. Like, everyone has some kind of agenda, I guess, and has their own ideals, I would say, yeah. And it seems pretty interesting so far. Like, I don't know who's gonna win, what the soul is about, and it doesn't feel like a typical shonen so far, I guess. It's interesting. I don't know where it goes. I've heard various opinions about the story from source facts. Yeah, we'll see. It's two core, and we will have to wait for a while for it to get going. But at least it's gonna be another complete adaptation, so we'll get an ending at least. So there is that. And it's fun. It's still fun. At least the fights are gorgeous.
I disagree. At least the only fight I really remember was the one from the very beginning of the show, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? It was moving by so quickly. Like every frame was a new cut. I'm just like, what the heck? Am I supposed to follow this? It's just so.
Nah, I asked Vincent, who is like a Fate resident, like he knows a lot about Apocrypha. I asked him about it, and he told me it's just some kind of a hook, and it doesn't serve any kind of purpose.
I mean, I could kind of get that, but I just thought the fight was just. I thought it was just too chaotic to even think it was cool. I'm just like, I don't understand why they'd animate it in this way.
We'll probably get some kind of context later on about it. We'll see.
Maybe, but yeah, the show's just there for me, personally. I'm sorry to all the Fate fans who might hate me for saying that, but...
Yeah, you're gonna get lynched now. Sorry.
Yep, rip me. But, yeah, anything else to say?
That's it for me.
Alright, so I guess 1 recommendation and 2 as about it.
It's for fans, I guess. Fate Apocrypha is for fans, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure people are gonna watch it just because they like Fate, and you know that's why it's on the top of the chart for the season. So, yeah, I can't complain about that. But yeah, that's all right. That's an underwhelming ending to the podcast, I guess, but that's just how it goes, man.
Season is so chill. Season's so chill, our internet was so chill on it.
Yeah, freaking good luck editing this one, Becker. Yeah, do you guys... this is an alright season, I think. Would you agree?
Yeah, I like it a lot, actually. Between Made in Abyss, Welcome to the Ballroom, Princess Principal, it's a lot of fun. And there are like just some solid shows like Tsurezure Children, and the Isekai Restaurant. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch, especially after the pretty weak, like, spring.
Yeah, we can all agree that it was better than spring.
Yeah, it's a delight to watch, and we're still gonna have a Owari Monogatari second season, like in several weeks from now. So yeah, this is gonna be hype.
First Impressions Part 2 with Owari Monogatari. But yeah, I guess that about does it for this episode. Thanks for listening, everyone. Thanks you guys for being awesome guests or co-hosts or whatever. I think we're all the hosts for this episode.
I'll go with whatever, yeah.
We'll go with that. And we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Reflect on this.
Yeah. It'll be a good time, hopefully. So, thanks again, everyone, for listening, and we'll see you then. Doo-doo-doo.
See ya.
Bye.